We're back, Stephanie. It's time to start Flynn's route.
Hello.
And by start Flynn's route, I mean we have 3 stories, according to Toaster, to play before Flynn's route.
Remember
So
how
here we
Flynn
go.
died?
Yeah, remember how our next route's going to be Chase with Flynn? And now we know a lot about Chase, and tragic things have happened to Flynn, and maybe Chase will be trying to hit on Flynn, given
That's
how
gonna
these
be
have largely
kinda weird.
gone. It's gonna be a distressing. But anyway, let's deal with that narrative irony later or now.
Well, it depends on what the context of this story is.
Yeah, because I don't know what any of these stories are. October 2012.
Man, remember
1
those
million
times?
years ago. I was like 6 months into being a Let's Player already.
I was gonna say
because
6 months old.
Fucking
I was gonna
ancient.
Say, no, you weren't.
I'm the oldest man to ever live. Carl, do you know where the keys are? I dig through my pockets again, but my fingers only rake the grocery shopping list I made and some chump change from the soda I bought earlier. I brief hope, a glimmer of...
a brief hope.
A brief hope. It's the second line of the thing. It's not. It's anyway. We haven't been here for a while.
Where the fuck is this again?
This is their dorm.
Oh, it's so dormy.
It's weird.
It's
I've never been in a college dorm ever, so I don't know what to expect exactly. But it's visually these beds are weird.
I've been to a couple dorms, one of which was in Santa Cruz, and I just visualized the pungent weed smell in every corner of every nook and cranny of the entire fucking building.
Like at first glance, I'm like, these beds are like as high as mine, but like on purpose. Like mine's a weird amalgam of mistakes and fixes that made it that tall, and this one's like what? These are just designed to be this tall.
That is weird.
That's strange to me.
I wonder if my dog could jump up that high.
Probably.
She'd probably try and like fucking fall off and kill herself. Poor thing.
A brief hope, a glimmer of salvation bubbles to the surface when I feel something metal and pointy. When I bring it out, though, it's just an old keychain I won at the fair and never bothered to take out. It's even still got a sticker on it.
Wait, in his pocket. You talking about his pocket? Why does he have a keychain in his pocket from a different time period? Like, I'm assuming like
It's
weeks
just
ago.
been there for ages.
Do you not wash your pants?
Apparently, maybe not. College
How
life,
do you not
bro.
realize you have a fucking whole keychain in your pocket? How do you not realize for that long?
I've heard a whole claim. Maybe they're rave pants. Their pockets are just extreme and they're really baggy.
Maybe I just don't I can't relate because I don't have pants that aren't.
I mean,
like,
we've heard about like Chase's emo hair and stuff like that back in the day. Like, what if this is like raver goth Chase in college?
He has just shuffle through all the chains and all the all the other stuff in his
just imagining Chase and his college friends doing a Harlem Shake video.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Does he have the goatee yet? Because that's really gonna add to that whole idea.
He's in the process of getting it at least.
That's even better.
He came back from college with a goatee.
It's all patchy. Oh no. Got a beanie on. Oh no.
It's even still got a sticker on it.
Didn't you leave them on your desk?
His voice is barely audible over what I can only imagine are the 10-year-olds he's playing his shooter with.
Thought I saw them on your desk.
I already checked. They're not. I open the closet drawer. It's full to the brim with old comics, but still no keys.
Maybe they got thrown in the trash by accident?
Why would... I rub the bridge of my snout. I'm in no rush to get out today, but the party won't start for an hour and a half at least. But I won't get anywhere without the car keys. Our dorm isn't the largest, but right now it still feels like I'm trying to find a needle in a haystack. A haystack that's usually very well organized, as per usual. I blame Carl.
What do you...
I hear the sound of a rocket launcher going off. So what do you...
Motherfucker.
500 Let's Players startled noises.
What?
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 Carl follows up with a stream of swear words, the likes of which I haven't heard since we were 12 and hanging out with Flynn after school. What, are you new to hearing him game in this room you're in right now? Is this the first time? Or is it the first time he's ever lost at a video game?
What do you need them for anyway? I got the groceries this morning.
Weed. You got weed this morning, Carl. I can still smell it from here.
That's the groceries, bro.
Yeah, that's our greens.
Yeah.
I love that. I got the groceries this morning. Weed. You got weed, Carl.
Yeah, what else do you need, Chase?
I hear an awkward chuckle.
You know how it is. Healthy greens. Anyway, where are you going?
I scour another drawer. This one's full of greeting cards. Old ones, by the looks of it. Congratulating Carl and me for getting into college. Why do you still have them?
I don't know. It feels weird to throw things like that away.
I throw them out immediately.
Oh my gosh, no.
Immediately.
I'm never writing you a card.
No, I don't like greeting cards anyway, but it's like...
I think they're a waste of money. They're like $7 now for a fucking greeting card. It's a waste of money. I'm like, hey, you know I'm giving this to you because I'm handing it to you. I don't gotta put a fucking card in there that says it's from me. The only time I write a card, if it's something immensely funny, like I'll go buy like my sister like a happy second birthday Minions card that sings just to make her upset with me, and that is like the extent to my buying of any kinds of cards. For
you've seen how I do gifts. Like I wrap the gift in wrapping paper, and then I write the to and from on the back of the wrapping paper that's left over on the roll. I cut that off, and then I tape that to the package because the back of the wrapping paper is white.
Oh yeah.
And so I just write on the white side and then tape that to the package as a little label instead of buying a stupid little like, oh, it's a card that says who it's to and from. I have a Sharpie. I can do this myself.
Dude, I have a
Sharpie and tape.
I have a paper Rayleigh's bag. Here's a fucking gift. I'm gonna draw you a picture on the front. It's gonna be a dinosaur with the party hat on.
I exclusively get
Take
cards.
it or leave it.
I exclusively get cards when I don't have gifts. Like when it's some kind of like oh, it's like Mother's Day or whatever, and the real gift is that we all came together today, and here's a card because it's the ritual or something. It's wow.
You gotta give like
Happy Mother's Day. Happy
give...
Mother's Day. I brought you someone else's words. I fucking hate cards.
I feel like our generation is gonna be the end of the cards.
Millennials are killing the greeting card industry.
Good.
And the diamonds.
Disingenuous.
Too busy with their avocado toast.
Well, you know what? I like that better than those other things you said.
I mean, avocado toast. I don't even like it, but it's objectively better than greeting cards.
Avocado toast is healthy.
Provides more to society.
It's good for you. It's just fucking delicious. I don't know why people are talking such smack on avocado toast. It's not even a millennial thing. I just think we should all get on it. Like, it's just tasty. Like, fuck you all. Anyways, sorry.
Somebody said greeting cards, and we're
so triggered by
the libs
greeting
are so
cards.
triggered. I flip each one over before shutting it again. I'm heading to Vincent's place. Remember? Thought I told you. I left one of the vases Carl's mom gave him when we left town. Vases? For your college dorm?
Dude, your mom would give you a vase for a college dorm.
What is he putting in it? Is that where he stashes his pot?
It's not a very good place to stash pot.
It's just out of sight. That's the only goal.
You need like a nice sealed, airproof chamber.
That's what the Ziplocs are.
Or that, yeah.
That's the Ziplocs go in the vase.
It's not as classy.
It's in a vase.
It's in a Ming Dynasty era vase.
Yeah.
It's actually a vase.
Wow.
For my weed.
Yeah, it's from Target.
Mickey D's. You're actually going? I thought you said you were going to study tonight.
Nah, I got invited. A couple of my friends will be there, so I'm going. I'm Chase. I have friends. Imagine Chase having friends.
I mean, he's swarmy enough to just have friends for no reason.
I struggle imagining Chase having friends because we've never seen him have a friend.
He doesn't have genuine friends.
He only at most has Carl, who has it. That's the closest thing to a friendship he has in any narrative we've read so far.
Who he immensely fucked over last.
Yeah,
last
and we
route.
just finished the route where he broke Carl's leg because he's so fucking off kilter in that route that I'm like. So someone left a fantastic comment that was very correct, which is that like, you know what? Maybe Chase and Leo should just get back together just to save everyone else from them.
Yeah, they'll just cancel each other out.
Take themselves off the market. Fucking Illusory Wall sent me a screenshot of that comment, and I just responded with like mutually assured monogamy. I spot the keys and let out a sound which, once it's out of my mouth, I realize resembles a deflating balloon. They're right here, Carl. Jesus. They're sitting on the shelf, right next to the TV. I pick them up. I almost feel like doing a little victory dance at this point. I've been do your Fortnite dance. Do it.
Floss.
Oh god, this is so old. It's when they announced Fortnite. 2012. Oh my god.
Deflating balloon.
I'm a balloon and then I'm out of air. I've been looking for these damn things for a solid hour already. How? Holy shit, clean up your dorm.
Dude, it's only one room, guys. Like,
yeah, you just need to develop an ADHD habit of always putting your keys in the same place every day, no matter what, because that's the ritual.
I have
and
that,
you'll never
but
lose
it's
your
not an
keys
ADHD habit. It's because I just know I'm dumb enough to lose them. So I've had to force myself into a routine.
I'm so used to that, I don't even like... It's like anxiety-inducing the idea that my keys would be anywhere else. Like they're either in my pocket, the same pocket all the time, or they're on the same spot on my desk at all times. It's the only places they can be. Ever. Are you trying to find my keys?
Yeah, where
they're right there with my wallet and everything.
That is where I thought to look, but it was just behind your wallet, so I missed it. But I didn't. I looked over there immediately.
No, they got shoved aside by the microphone cable, so they're disheveled and dark. But no, they're always right there all the time. Period.
My keys have like a lanyard and like a fuck ton of keychains because they're loud and obnoxious, and I'll know if I don't have them because if I shake my purse or if I clip them onto my belt loop, if I shake my hips and do a dance, I could hear the keys, so I know that they're there. Like
because you have to manage your keys on hard mode, which is woman.
It's woman, and
you have to deal with clothes and purse, and like there's more obstacles to the ritual of keys.
I have 2 sets of keys. I have work keys too because people allowed me to have keys to an entire building. What idiots!
Imagine trusting this person.
I know, right?
Carl's still as stone-faced as ever, because he's stoned. I don't know if he's had weed or is just in a bad mood. Maybe both. I don't feel like it should be hard. Is being high something you'd consistently mix up with being in a bad mood?
Maybe if you're so high, you're too stoic to react, and you just have a really plain face on.
Is it just me, or does the perspective look absolutely wild on that lamp?
It looks really big.
Something about that lamp's freaking me out.
It looks gigantic.
Yeah, it looks almost warped. It
looks like the Pixar lamp.
Why does it look like that? I sit on the bed with him. It's far more comfortable. It's a far more comfortable mattress than the ones that come with the dorm. I think Carl's parents had it specially ordered when he left town. Carl doesn't tear his eyes off the game. Specially ordered feels like a way more... too much pretense and too much hype for the idea of Carl. They bought a mattress. They just bought a mattress. It's like a specialty.
You're
mattress.
Not waiting in line for that pre-order. Like
I'm just like, it's not like a gourmet mattress. It's not. It's just a mattress. They just bought a mattress that wasn't the one that is there. That's it.
Dude, get off my back. I didn't mean to. Shit.
The round's over. The cacophony of voices that had served as the backdrop for a conversation abruptly dies out, replaced by the most generic orchestral music I've ever heard. Carl's got the worst score on the board. I don't even...
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna have a gamer moment. Here we go.
Immediately recognize the sound of a controller being thrown.
I don't even have time to say anything before he tosses the controller off to the side. It's a small miracle it doesn't break on impact, considering how hard he's tossing it around. I cross my arms behind my head and get comfortable. You alright, man? You seem kind of mad.
Ugh.
Carl's hands go to the pockets of his ripped jeans.
I could be better.
Really? I absentmindly draw a finger over the keychain of my car keys. The one with a picture of Leo on it.
Ew, how cute.
He has a picture of Leo on his keychain? What exactly? Didn't you break up with him already? You're such a train wreck.
Oh, that is true. Yeah,
they broke up at that restaurant before he left for Peyton.
That's sad, Chase. Get a life.
Chase is such a wreck. Absolute mess. I think it's the first picture I'd ever taken with my own camera. Carl notices from the corner of his eye and playfully smacks my paw away, though it seems to remind him of something, as he turns to me and opens his muzzle.
How are you holding up with the whole Leo thing going on? I mean,
I have to ponder for that for a moment myself. Leo doesn't cross my mind a lot these days, but when I do think of him, I feel empty, hollow. To the point where I wonder... I got a bulletproof heart. You've got a hollow point smile. To the point where I wonder, somewhere in the back of my mind, if leaving Echo's been the right choice. In the end, however, I shake my head and snap out of it, as I always do when asked about Leo. I've done it for my parents, I've done it for my friends, and I've done it for myself when looking in the mirror, all alone late at night. It's better this way, you know? I mimic Carl's sitting position, thrusting my hands down my jean pockets. I smirk, inching closer to him. Besides, I got all the man I need right here. It's a poor way to lighten the mood, but Carl falls for it hard, making a mock face of disgust.
Ew, pardon, but I don't associate with no queers.
He does his best southern drawl. I snort. So, those last, 9 years, that was just you letting me down gently?
Exactly.
He notices the way I'm sitting, shifting his legs around. He pulls his hands out of his pockets.
I'm glad you finally got it after all this time. It's a weight off my shoulders.
And here I thought we had something special. We laughed together, almost enough to make me forget about Echo for a moment. Almost.
So, this Vincent guy, is it a day or...
I roll my eyes. It's just a party. Jeez. Nothing's gonna happen.
If he tries anything funny, just give me a call.
Carl takes a large swig from the 2-liter soda bottle sitting next to him. It's almost captivating to watch him down it all in the span of roughly an hour. I think his record's at 45 minutes.
God, that makes me sick just thinking about that. I couldn't drink that much soda in an hour.
I wouldn't want to. I just feel
like you just feel bad afterwards.
No. I never want a second, can. I'm done immediately. I'm like, alright, well, that was that.
I'll come pick you.
He cuts himself off with a burp.
Can I, I'm trying to think if I can burp on cue right now, but I don't think I can. No. I don't want to try.
No.
Just ruin everyone's day. I can burp, pick you up.
Sorry, everybody. The stream's canceled. Stephanie verped on the microphone. It's a 5-minute drive. I'll be fine. Thanks, though.
You mom. Your mom made me promise to look after you, man.
He slams the bottle down a bit too hard. Soda erupts from the bottle and stains his pants. Isn't it almost gone?
He really...
It's a 2-liter.
He really slams it down hard.
How hard did he slam it?
Well, fuck.
I laugh. Sounds like you need more help than I do. He wags a finger at me.
Shut it. Can you pass me the towel?
The towel. The dorm towel.
No, don't touch that. Don't touch that.
Don't want to come with? I toss him the towel hanging over the back of his chair. He invited you, too.
Nah, you know me, Chase. I'm no good at parties.
He's vigorously rubbing at the stain, but it won't come out no matter how much pressure he applies. Hell, I don't even think it's really drying.
The towel's just been used up so much it doesn't even work anymore.
It's just already wet.
It's already saturated.
Pass me the soda towel.
The sweat and boy juice.
We're adding
soda towel.
Adding new lore to the soup towel from the Liar Let's Try. Fucking
a soup towel.
Toaster. I brought up the idea how do people survive being in a coma in like medieval times and whatnot, and we ended up landing on the idea of like a soup towel, like a towel like that you soak in soup and then you like wring it out over the mouth of the patient. It's just,
why can't you just
a horrifying
dribble
thought we're stuck
spoonfuls
on.
of it? Why do you gotta put it in a towel first?
A towel full of soup makes the
soup
patient
go down.
not die.
Yeah.
When he realizes it, he shoots me a pleading glance. There's just a tiny hint of despair in his eyes. Just fucking change your pants. The moment I spill anything on me ever at the when I'm home, I'm like, this is dead to me. I just take it off immediately and switch it to anything else, like whatever. Just change immediately. Who gives a shit?
You might as well.
Like, you're in your dorm. It's literally too much work to try to clean it. Just throw it in the hamper. Change. Its look has given me so many times since we were kids, and I know exactly what it means. Nope, you're on laundry duty today, Carl, remember? I fold my arms over my chest. And you're cooking tomorrow. I've got a lecture in the afternoon. Something about the importance of composition in photography.
I mean, something about that is just actually
something
just
about the
important.
thing, just the exact thing I said, actually. But I said it like vague to imply it was vague, like I didn't know what it was, but that's exactly what it was.
I'd like you all to know that in my veterinarian classes, I had a whole class on how to restrain cats, and it was very funny.
A whole class on how to restrain cats.
Yeah, because they're a menace and they're immensely hard to restrain. And there's literally a bag that's called a cat bag, and you get the cat in there, and it has little zippers. So you zip like the zipper like around its head, so just its head sticking out. And if you unzip certain zippers, it's like little arm will jut out, because cats are just like that, they'll jut their arm out. So you can like then zip their arm like into the, like basically you like get their arm out and then you like give them a shot or something.
I could have used a freaking cat bag.
Like the
I used to have to give it cat shots, and they're just like, just show up and just deal with it. I'm like, fuck, this cat doesn't like me.
You could have
like,
used this class.
Yeah, it's
no.
They could have also used someone who knew what they were doing.
It's funny to see a formal textbook say that if a cat is angry enough, you just take a syringe of ketamine and you just squirt it at the cat's mouth when it's hissing at you, and you just hope that it eventually passes out.
You spray ketamine?
You spray ketamine at the mucous membranes in the, like, at its gums. Basically, basically like the cat will just be hissing at you, and you're basically just throwing ketamine at its face. And then eventually, if you get enough to stick, it'll just zonk out and you're safe.
What the fuck?
Dude, cats are demonic. Cats are immensely hard. If you want to see some fucked up videos, look at people try. Look at like cats loose in vet offices. They destroy everything.
Just like, cat's freaking out again. Don't worry, I got my pocket ketamine.
Yeah, pocket ketamine.
What the fuck? But no, my mom's cat had like liver failure, and so, or no, kidney failure, and so I had to like, when they would go on trips, I had to drive all the way to their house and then like catch the cat, try to keep him still in like a little bed, and try to hold, like, kind of just hold him down. And then pull up their scruff and like just stab it in there, and just I had to apply like one of those fluids bags like at hospitals and
like
stuff
an
like
IV?
that. Yeah, I had to give the cat an IV. And I'm like, this is a weird experience, and this cat hates me. Like,
yeah,
I'm already like, it's already a thing where it's like I don't live here, so the cats hide the moment the door opens, and then I have to catch trap and catch the cat and restrain it and give it an IV and stab it. And it's like, then they're like, be sure to socialize and play with our cats. I'm like, how many hours do you expect me to be here on this trip? This cat already hates me, and I'm also the one that stabs it. I'm just a stranger that shows up and stabs your cat.
He's
and then
the
leaves.
Stab guy.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
I'm like, you're lucky I'm even doing this drive. I'm not gonna like hang out for an hour to socialize with your cats too. I got a life.
It's like, oh, use gauntlets and like these big metal like sleeves you wear, and you can use a gauntlet to like distract, like an empty one. You just wave it in front of its face, and while the cat's attacking it, then you can grab it with your actual hand. Dude, like the amount of like descriptions on how to hold a fucking cat, it was like a 50-page chapter. I'm like, are you serious? My dog, I brought her to class to demonstrate, and I was like, I'll restrain her, but she's just gonna stand here no matter what. And they're like, just in case, like restrain her anyway. And I'm like, okay. I just put my arm under her head and my arm under her haunches. And she literally just stood there. Like she wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
She gives veterinarians kisses.
He groans and stretches.
Composition and photography. Sounds pretty interesting.
It is pretty interesting.
I thought
he strikes a Superman pose. I'm interesting. I eye one of the magazines sitting on the table. It's from a few months back, before we even got here. We've only been here for a bit. A layer of dust is starting to form on them.
You guys are gross.
What about your classes? The way he's looking at me, you'd think I said something offensive.
My what?
I'm supposed to be taking classes here?
What?
I thought it was just your emotional support animal. I drag a finger through the dust, then bring it to my face. My paw pad's all gray now, and the dust my paws kicked up is almost enough to give me a coughing fit. You've only been here for a few months.
You guys are gross.
It's not a fucking Indiana Jones relic. What the fuck? You just manifest filth?
Yes.
Your classes, how are they?
Oh,
He shrinks back into his seat, like he's trying to hide behind his hoodie. He finally just shrugs.
Okay, I guess. Not bad.
I raise an eyebrow. Just okay?
It's a business major, Chase.
What does that mean?
It sucks.
He's given up on rubbing the stain.
Not much going on besides numbers, and more numbers.
He snorts.
I don't even know how my mom can keep track of all of them. So many numbers.
The numbers, Carl, what do they mean? I chuckle. Almost sounds like college.
Maybe I should have stayed in Echo. I'm not really cut out for this stuff.
I gently squeeze his shoulder. He pulls his beanie down to the point it's almost covering his eyes. I can see him nodding under there, I think. I let it sit there. I don't want to make Carl uncomfortable. His parents put enough pressure on him as it is. Instead, I just put a hand on his shoulder. He leans into the touch, a smile appearing on his face again. He picks up the controller once more and starts a new game. He hastily points towards the second controller. with this emotional support from Chase, I finally gotten the will to pull my life back together.
By topping the leaderboard.
Playing more video games. Not gonna go to class, though.
Yeah. You still have time, right?
I look at Carl's pleading grin, then at my watch. Indeed, I still have another hour until I really need to leave, and I've already freshened up and everything. Before I've even managed to grab the controller, almost tripping over the clothes and trash on the floor in the meantime, Carl's already starting a match.
It's Smash Brothers Melee, Final Destination, stages only.
He just already gets a KO before Chase even picks up the controller.
Only Pokeballs on high spawn rate.
It's
Yes.
gotten really bad.
No, that's fun.
No!
Oh.
No, small map Pokeballs are so cursed. No.
Play Pokefloats. That's the worst stage ever.
If you're playing high spawn rate Pokeballs, that at least has to be the Zelda level, the Fire Emblem level. I mean, the giant one.
Yeah, that one's really fun. I used to just play it and pretend like I'd have dialogue between the characters. I'd play both the controllers and I'd have them talk and have emotional drama.
They would teabag to talk, just wobbling in place.
No, I'd just be like Mario and Peach are in a fight. And then
domestic dispute.
Yeah, and then maybe Luigi's there.
The real man, the ideal pairing.
I could have Daisy there, just give Peach the Daisy skin. I don't know, I was a weird kid, I was just doing that by myself.
The voices start up again. There's accusations and shit slinging around already. I'm gonna be playing online?
Oh no. Of course you're playing online. The bots are way too easy.
I thought we could just do a versus match or something. My character gets taken down with a headshot almost as soon as I'm in. There's some shrieking on the other end.
Come on, Chase, get it together.
There's shrieking on the other.
Some kids laughing his ass off.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what game even works the way that's being described.
Call of Duty.
It's like as soon as his character's in, as if the game waited for him to come in by just getting to his computer. I'm getting to the controller when Carl already started the match without him. I'm not used to these controls. I've played one of the older games in the series before, mostly back in Echo during the summer, when it was so hot you couldn't even go outside without spontaneously combusting. We lost several friends that year. This one's got an entirely different control scheme, and I only managed to get a grip on it after dying a few times. If Flynn were here, I'm sure he'd have a jab ready. I'm better at side-scrollers, you know. Assigned platformer at birth. There was a bizarre comment I got like last week that was like, they were like, "You used to play Shovel Knight, man. What happened?" And I was like, "What? What does that mean?" It's like, yeah, when it came out like 8 years ago, I was like, I beat it. I was like, I beat the game, Lamal. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, you know what I mean, the furry shit. I'm like, why would I think that's what you mean? That's so unrelated. That's so unrelated to what you actually said. Was I to a Shovel Knight? And I was just like, what's this dichotomy you've introduced where there's two types of people, Shovel Knight players and furries? And then someone replied like a signed platformer at birth. Like, what the fuck? The two genders, Shovel Knight and furries. What the fuck?
No, I mean, I thought he was gonna be like, oh, like you're playing visual novels. I want to watch you play like. My
first instinct was like, oh, you're complaining I'm playing AAA games? Is that the implication? I wasn't used to play indie games like Shovel Knight, and now you're playing Overwatch like a cuck. It's like, no, it's the furry. It's like, I was not expecting it to be a furry comment because it's so unrelated to what he said. Commenters are fucking wild.
You say commenters or commoners?
Commenters.
Oh, those commoners. They so are commoners. Wild.
God, you don't even have clout. Cringe. I get stabbed 10 times in the chest by a guy whose nickname leaves a lot to be desired. In fighting games...
You suck at fighting games too.
I grin at him. I do not suck at fighting games.
I do.
I beat your ass last time, remember?
Only because you used the cheapest character and kept spamming the same move.
It stings just a little, but he isn't lying. Now that I think about it. Although if you're actually good at fighting games, you can defeat someone very easily that's spamming one move no matter what. Oh my gosh. Like, there's usually a way to do that.
When I was at EVO,
so they just both suck at fighting games.
Fucking Chris G shows up
story.
with his Magneto Morrigan pairing to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and fucking Justin Wong shows up and gets out. He's like killing everybody using the same bullshit. I got in a fight with some Filipino dude in the audience about this because I'm like, hey, no, what was it, Chris G? It might have been Filipino champ. Maybe that's why I got in a fight with this guy. Either way, some person was using Magneto and Morgan and just fucking destroying everyone by force pushing them back and then using Morgan's like cross skull moves to like take up the whole screen and kill everybody. And Justin Wong is my hero because he came in and defeated him. That one time Stephanie was at EVO. I was cosplaying Poison.
It's left a big impression on you.
It did. I was really mad. It was very unfair.
I remember reading somewhere that the character I'm used isn't allowed in tournaments because of how broken he is. Was he playing Meta Knight?
Dude, he flies into the stage. He's hella broken.
Naturally, he ended up being my favorite. Didn't help that he was cute, too. Chase is a thing for Meta Knight. Well, you could have dodged it after the 5th time I used it.
Seriously?
He takes another swig from his bottle. Some droplets fall on his hoodie.
That was a bullshit combo, and you know it.
Somehow I managed to land a headshot on the guy who killed me. And Carl lets out a war cry that sounds like a dying frog. Strikes fear into the hearts of his enemies. Just directly into voice comms. No one can speak anymore. No one can talk over him. All they can hear is I do not miss being in voice chat in Halo 2.
I never played online games because I was too afraid of the people out in the world.
Yeah.
So I never played anything online, which is why I suck.
It seems so different now. Like nowadays I only play Overwatch 2, and in that I'm either in the private voice chat with just my friends, or whenever I play alone, just no one talks. And that's bad for Overwatch, and that it's supposed to be a team-based game where you do definitely need to coordinate more than most people do in order to do anything effectively. Everyone, then at the end of the match, everyone just points fingers about what happened wrong. I'm like, what happened wrong is we didn't even try to play as a team. What the fuck? But it's like, it is like an upgrade over like the voice comms of like back in the Halo days where it was just like, just fucking screaming and slurs and just horribleness.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I've tried a couple times. I was like, never again. Yep. Not going back on
Headset
there.
Off. A bit too soon. As I stand out of cover a bit too long, which earns me a rocket to the face from the player who was standing right next to said guy. I think they're playing Halo. I think they're playing Halo because he talked about orchestral music when he died.
Okay. Well, that's not super generic. It's kind of good music.
No, it's like one of the best soundtracks in the history of like, especially shooters, but just like games in general too. Like, it's so good. Marty O'Donnell? I guess Marty would be still Martin, the same name. I figured out. I swear through gritted teeth, but I persevere. After I get killed by a guy who's blatantly shooting me through walls, however, I just give up. Well, that's not... What does that mean?
He's cheating. He's hacked. Like
that's not how video games work, though.
No, you can do the thing where you can glitch. You can do the thing where you shoot through walls. That was like a problem in Call of Duty for a while.
Oh, then maybe they're playing a game where you can shoot through walls. Well, because you can't shoot through walls in Halo.
You're not supposed to shoot through walls in Call of Duty, but you can make it so you can, and you can get kicked permanently for like doing shit like that.
How would you even be able to do that? It's like that goes well beyond like, because I know there's aim hacks where obviously there's like the auto aim bullshit where you just lock on people's heads magically, and during that you can see through people through walls.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
But you can't. That's like an external device that's cheating at aiming and so on, but that wouldn't make your bullets magically go through the walls in a video game that doesn't do that. But I think some games that are like realistic shooters have bullets go through walls because they think that's cool.
Like
but
Battlefield?
Maybe,
I don't know.
Or like definitely like Rainbow Six, I think. But like not Halo. Halo you can't shoot through walls. That has rockets in it. So I don't know.
I actually know very little.
Anything that's an arena shooter, I struggle to think of something being able to shoot through walls. Unless you're talking about like Perfect Dark with the weird squid shark gun thing that could see through walls, but that game wasn't online. That was Nintendo 64.
I'm just assuming someone's cheating.
Yeah. But cheating, there's ways you can actually cheat and ways you can't. Like using aim hacks to just cheat at aiming is a thing you can do because it's cheats happen normally between the player and the game. So like you can do stuff that makes your character. I don't know how to put this specifically. Like you can't make the guns not work the correct way. You can't change how the guns work in the game or the vehicles work in the game. Like that's not how cheating in an online lobby would work because that's the game's like internal logic of how it works. You can't. That wouldn't work. Unless it's specifically a game that allows you to shoot through walls already.
I know that there are people that do, like, they fuck with things like spawn rate, and they fuck with things like there's a lot of things that people do find ways, and you can get, like, perma-banned for doing certain things that, like, are...
I mean, any kind of cheating, yeah, you'll get banned.
As opposed to just, like, oh, in a tournament you can't do this, and that's our own preset rule. It's like, no, this is, like, literally game breaking. Like, you did something in the code, like, you can't play the game anymore.
Yeah, cheating is cheating, whereas... tournament rules are essentially house rules people make up because they're like, this game is a better competitive game if we remove certain parts of it.
I just assume this guy's doing something that he would get perma-banned for.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's ambiguous, come to think of it.
We're so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if they're cheating or if the guy's just so good that Chase is like, fuck video games.
It could go either way with Chase.
This guy's like, because like, there are games online where the sound is so good that you can just tell where people are through walls, and then you can just turn around and just shoot like straight through, and like you'll get good enough that you can react to things other than what you actually see, and that would be deeply frustrating to play against if you're not on that level.
Cheater.
It's whatever, I guess. I shift on the bed, kicking out my legs. How about a couple of levels of Claws of Destruction? I think I'm done with this one for now, if that's okay. After grabbing a granola bar from the kitchen cabinet, I'm finally on my way to the party. Sorry, everyone, that everything that happened in their dorm was incredibly distracting, so it took us 40 minutes to get this far.
Yeah, sorry, guys. This was like one of our more scattered episodes.
I think the first episode back each like season is our worst one for that.
I think it's like it's fun.
We just like it's also the one there's not enough. When there's not enough plot happening, that's just like, oh, we're just hanging out, and things keep happening as world building or characterization.
There's just too much to make fun of.
Every single thing that happens is a tangent. My favorite part is when people hit like episode like 65, and then they complain about it, and I'm like, you got this far. You put up with so much, and this was your breaking point. This was the moment. This was the episode where we finally wore you down. Like, you've been watching us be this way for like 70 hours. Well, I'm on my way to the party. Only half my mind's actually focused on the road. The other half can't stop grumbling about the heat. See, even he's scatterbrained. I probably should have put on something other than jeans. Maybe shorts? Or would that look silly?
Oh, he's all self-conscious for the party.
Vincent's place is near the other side of campus. It's a short drive, but in this heat it feels like miles. My parents' old car doesn't have air conditioning. It'll make visiting them back in Echo torture if I ever do decide to go back there. Yeah, imagine if something like that happened. Perhaps one day. For now, I'm pretty content where I am. Even though I've seen it often, I'm always struck by how gorgeous the campus looks at sunset. Echo's got some nice views, but Pueblo just kicks it to the curb in every aspect. It looks exactly like what the brochures make it out to be, which I've heard is pretty impressive for a place like this. I'm just happy it's got indoor and outdoor pools. I wouldn't be able to survive a week without those.
Well, you go
imagine
home and you do.
Surviving a week without pools.
Huh.
I guess he doesn't survive in every timeline.
That's true.
Just driving in this weather is making me seriously long for air conditioning. There's a couple of cars in the parking lot in front of the building already. Mine looks out of place next to all the newer models. Then again, I suppose I'm a bit less affluent when compared to most of the other students here, with their muscle cars and scholarships. With their blue hair and pronouns. There's something about that cadence to it. Their muscle cars and scholarships. It didn't stop me from getting in, at least.
What was Leo's issue with college again? It was like...
It was just the normal conservative talking point about how, like, college brainwashes you and it's not actually even accurate or whatever.
I have blue hair has just become, like... Blue hair has just become, like, the thing.
When I met you, you had blue hair and pronouns.
I still have pronouns. I just
really?
I don't have blue hair right now.
Your Persona's ref sheet has blue hair and pronouns.
It does. That is true.
Yeah.
I'm a red flag, everybody. Watch out for me. I'm a liberal.
Yep. You can find Stephanie's Odessa's ref sheet in my For Affinity gallery.
My dear best friend made it for me, and it's
because she doesn't have her own For Affinity, so I put it in mine. Some of the people I recognize from my class wave at me as I pass them. Others ignore me and keep on smoking just out of sight. Judging by the smell, it's weed.
No kidding.
I shouldn't be surprised. People seem to be a lot more lax about that here than they are back home. Also, you probably smell like weed. Because you share a room with Carl, who just got it today.
Yeah, I'm surprised you can even still smell it. You think you'd just be so
just numb.
Saturated in it.
It's all the different strains. Like, this isn't the same flavor as my hot box.
This is a nice, a mellow indica.
I can taste the air. It might be one of the reasons Carl's mom had him go to this university. It takes me a couple of rings to realize the doorbell's busted. Even longer to notice the tiny slip of paper stuck to the door telling me to go around the back. When I do, I'm met with the jovial grin of a wolf who already looks like he's had one too many. Vincent walks towards me, arms spread open wide.
Uh-oh. Leo's gonna be mad.
You know other men?
You know other wolves, especially?
He's wearing a plain white shirt, and the most casual shorts. What does that mean?
Just,
what is that?
You see his boner right through.
I guess he
him.
means basketball shorts, like just like not necessarily like anything
not formal
normal.
or in any
not
way.
Like cargo shorts or jorts or whatever the fuck, or khakis,
or their Daisy
but
Dukes.
like basketball. Extremely casual shorts, pockets on the outside, but through the inside. Looks like I did put on too many layers. What does that mean? When I return to the awkward hug he tries to give me, I can smell cheap liquor on his breath, a far cry from the diligent student he usually is during classes. What does Vincent sound like?
Chase, how are you, man?
Doing just fine, thanks. Nice, party you got going on here. Lots of people. He chuckles, patting my back.
There's more inside. Way more. Come on in, I'll show you.
I follow him to the building, through some small hallways. I notice Jenna standing on the other end when we turn a corner. It looks like she's busy reading something. I call out to her, but it doesn't seem like she can hear me. Just when I'm about to try again, Vince tugs me into his room.
Woo.
Hey.
Wait, this is his dorm room?
This is incredibly clean.
Wait, this makes no sense.
What we've set up for college dorms so far.
Why does our room have like bunk beds and his has a couch and a TV?
Yeah, I don't know. They'd have a whole extra room, I guess? Or is this like
I don't know how dorms work. I've never lived in one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I don't think this is the common room or anything in the building. It's spacious, I'll give him that much. Busy, too. There's tons of people in the living room area alone. The living room area of his dorm? What are these dorms like?
Is this an apartment?
I don't understand.
Can you pay extra for more room?
Maybe it's
Do
like...
rich kids get more room?
Maybe it's the common area. But Chase is... not Chase, but like Carl's a rich kid.
Yeah, that's true.
He's the richest kid of them all.
That is true.
That's his primary character trait.
But Carl also doesn't care about living in like trash. Like
yeah, but his parents would just do something, I think.
That's true.
But I don't know, I think there's common areas, so maybe they mean that.
Maybe
like there's like everyone's rooms, and there's like the area that has like the actual like stove and
young
like,
people
bathrooms.
Sound off in the comments. We're old and we don't know how dorms work in colleges.
I played Kibbleton with Toaster, and that was just like an adored room, and they talked about like they don't have like the dorms don't have bathrooms.
Yeah, they have like common bathrooms sometimes.
So maybe this is the common area with the big TV. Apparently, they get to fight over.
Man, that would suck.
Some of them are playing beer pong. Others are chatting. Well, it's more like they're just shouting to each other over the loud music. A girl from the class I've been working together on a project with, Lana, sits in a corner, playing with her phone. She's wearing a rather eye-catching, revealing red dress, one I'm pretty sure violates some university dress code. Sometimes she giggles to herself. When I catch her eye, she immediately puts it away and steps over to me.
There you are, Chase. It's not like you to be this late.
She grins from ear to ear, displaying her almost eerily white teeth. I lean against a wall, eyeing the crowd from a distance with her. I've had trouble finding a good parking spot. How's the party? Anything crazy going on?
It's been pretty routine so far. We were just getting to the good part.
She smiles, tipping her muzzle towards the table.
The drinks are over there.
The good part? Next to me, Vincent nods, then tilts his muzzle towards the kitchen. His ears perk up.
Lana and I went out and got something special for the guests.
Part of me already knows what's gonna be. Probably booze or something. From what I've heard, it's what college parties are all about. I don't know. This is the first one I've ever been to.
It's gonna be something hardcore.
Yeah.
Because they already covered
it's gonna be too much.
Booze and weed is already something that's been mentioned. It's gonna be like Coke or something.
Yeah. Something special, huh? What is it?
You'll see.
She grabs her phone again, tapping away on it like she's writing a novel.
It's going to be good.
I kick back and enjoy the party for a bit. This good thing sounds pretty questionable. Even more so once Lana disappears into the kitchen before returning with a big silver tray.
Yeah, I'm calling it.
She passes it from person to person, everyone taking something from it. I try not to think about it too much.
Maybe not.
By the looks of it, it's not just the usual party snacks. It takes her a while to get through to everyone, so I just grab a can of soda from the cooler on the table. It's an off-brand. I guess the booze is more important.
Sometimes the off-brand sodas are actually better.
Get that RC cola. Ugh. That was my high school. They just had RC in the vending machines.
I just recently learned what RC stood for, and it's
Royal Crown.
Yeah, maybe, but it wasn't like originally a soda company. It was something else first that was unrelated to soda.
Yeah, they used to make Hanafuda cards.
Okay, there you go.
I'm joking.
That's
Nintendo.
Oh, well, that is, yeah, you're right, that is Nintendo. I would have just been like, okay.
No, it's a riff on like when we do a little stupid joke, like, oh, do you know that like Heath Ledger, he improvised that scene? Like you just keep going back to the same 3 facts over and over again just to fuck with people. Viggo Mortensen actually broke his foot in that scene.
My girlfriend ran out of good stories on our 3rd date. I've been married to that bitch for 40 years.
Never gave her any new ones.
Yeah, you ever like just meet someone and you realize they only have like 5 things to say, and you're like, oh, like this was really fun, like the first 5 things, and then you're like, wait, they're out of things to say. They're telling the Evo story again. I know. Well, first of all, I'm not telling you, okay? I'm telling the people watching. Secondly, I do feel bad for you guys, like for all my friends, because every once in a while I'm just like, here's a story, and it's like, I know I've told the story before, but I'm telling it again anyway for me. It's for me now.
You just panic midway through the story. You're like,
no.
Here it comes.
A lot of times
I'm doing it again.
I just know. I'm just like, I want to talk about this again. So I'm sorry, y'all are hostage.
Finally, Lana thrusts the tray in front of my face with the widest of smiles. Her enthusiasm only leaves me disappointed when I find nothing but blueberry muffins. Blueberry muffins that smell kind of funny. Like they've been out for a few days already. It's like those cakes Janice tried selling at the diner a few years back.
Can you put acid in brownies? Can you put Molly in brownies?
I scratched the back of my head. They're just muffins. What's the big deal? A large lion with a long braided mane pipes up behind her. That's a coded character right there. Yeah. It's like the Bob Marley shirts.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so it's weed probably, going by this character. Do we know?
Not necessarily.
Do we know? Wow, this is further back than I thought it was. Do we know what Lana is? Did they ever say?
She said a girl.
Just a girl,
but they
right?
refer to her having a muzzle.
Yeah, but everyone does. We've never met like a bird person yet.
That's true.
So, or an ape. So everyone just has a muzzle.
Yeah, I guess so.
Special recipe, man. They're edibles. It's weed. They're weed
That's
muffins.
Not exciting.
It's not that exciting, but also like I know. I've now I know where we are. This is the most spoiled thing in all of Echo for me, is that Toaster has a bone to pick with this story specifically, because and this is funny because it highlights the idea that like I think all these short stories are written by Red, who went on to write Glory Hounds, and not Howley, which is interesting because Arches is full of drug use, and it's apparently incredibly accurate, like very, very specifically accurate. But this is the story that Toaster's always going on about because it's incredibly wrong. It's wildly inaccurate.
It's the reefer madness of stories.
It's potentially, and given how accurate Arches is, that makes it, this is like one of the biggest pieces of evidence that these short stories are not written by Howley, because he probably would have gotten it different.
Dude, oh my gosh. Sorry. There was a whole Degrassi episode where they get high on weed brownies, and the only downside that like the show could think of, because obviously if you get high on weed, you're not a menace to society at all. But the one downside is this girl who was diabetic forgot to take her insulin.
Oh no.
And that's everyone's fault because they were high. And I'm like, you guys, this is like, you had to go to like this length to like say one bad thing.
Medical emergency.
Yes, a very specific medical emergency. You know, I don't think that show was allowed to air if it was anything harder than weed. So like that was their drug episode. But it was like, guys, like, oh, the girl who's diabetic, that's her own, first of all, that's her own fucking fault. Isn't she supposed to...
Yeah.
Should she not be eating sweets at all?
Why wasn't everyone keeping track of my I
don't think they even knew she had diabetes. She was just some stranger at the party. Anyways.
I've seen the lion around campus before, but I don't know his name, just his face. I think he's in Carl's class. Like, drugs? Chase, you're from such a small town. Oh my god.
You live with Carl.
Well, Carl too lazy for edibles. He doesn't have to make them.
Like drugs?
You can't like get edibles.
Not yet.
No, it's like you think that a fucking what's his name is making edibles for Carl? Jenna's brother, Jeremy. You think Jeremy's baking edibles?
I thought you were gonna say Flynn.
He and his
Flynn
gay
cooks
bad
some things.
boyfriend are just hanging out baking edibles to supply Carl specifically.
No, like
I enjoy the image of Micah baking brownies.
That is cute. That is cute. See, nowadays you can just like walk over to the dispensary and buy like a whole stick of butter and just go home and cook with weed butter.
Weed butter.
You know, it's like it's very accessible. You can buy cookies.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, they'll cost you like 1,000,000 times more. But
I take one of the muffins from the tray and bring it up to my nose. Up close, it just smells awful. I narrow my eyes. You'd better not be pulling a prank on me.
No prank. You should try one, Chase.
She grins at me. She seems honest enough. Not that I think she's trying to poison me. Now that I think about it, Carl told me about edibles once, about a year ago, I think. Time's been ticking by way too fast ever since I graduated from high school. I can't remember what he told me about them specifically. Something about not being able to get high from them? That's not accurate.
Well, no, it's probably just Carl. Like, some people are more...
He's just too powerful.
Then
again, Carl's probably used to stuff that's a lot heavier. Around me, people are always popping them in their muzzles like it's no big deal.
I fall right asleep. Like a baby.
This probably isn't a prank then. Unless they laced just one of them, and this is some sort of weird Russian roulette, but with muffins kind of thing.
That'd be kind of funny.
Let's make some memories with a group trauma, everybody. One of us will die. Should I do this? I mean, I promised my parents that I'd try and be responsible while away from home, but I don't think this would hurt. If it does, I can always just leave. Everyone's eyes are on me when I stick it in my mouth. This peer pressure makes the fur on my back of my neck stand on end.
This does sound like an after-school special.
I think if everyone's being handed out brownies, no one gives a fuck about Chase. No, I don't think the whole room's gonna look at him like he's the center of attention here.
Well,
everyone just got a weed muffin. I think they're fixing on that.
Well, and to be fair, like, you just go to a party, you're just like, oh, no thanks. Like, no one cares. No one cares. Just be like, oh, no, I don't really feel like it.
It's not as gross as I expected it to be, at least. Thank God. I can still taste a bit of the blueberry in there. The weed part, though, well, I've never used weed, so I don't know what it tastes like. If this is it, it's nothing special. Hell, I don't even feel anything.
Yeah, Chase, you're gonna feel that immediately. Oh my gosh, that's definitely how that works.
Meme. These edibles ain't shit. Lana sets the tray down on the coffee table. A sheep sitting on the couch takes a muffin from it as soon as she leaves it alone.
How is it? You okay?
I shrug my shoulders and drink my soda. I don't really feel anything. Her lips stretch into a thin line, and she looks down at the tray again with a frown.
Huh.
This is where we're getting into the weirdness of it. Is that my understanding from Toaster is that edibles take a while to do anything.
Yeah, I'm like,
so no
like
one
40
in this
minutes.
No one in this situation should be expecting anything to happen immediately. We know Chase doesn't know that, but it's weird that everyone else doesn't know that. Yeah. The lion speaks up again, taking a swig from the beer bottle he's holding. Maybe this wasn't all that strong. You definitely use enough of these to know that better than this.
I know. I sure as hell felt it when I ate mine. Maybe he's just immune to it or something.
Immune? Like a zombie bite. I shake my head. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Maybe it just hasn't kicked in yet.
Maybe I sleep in a room with Carl, and the fumes from his body just are constantly hotboxing me to the point where I'm actually immune to it.
I've actually been high for years and
I
just don't remember what it's like not to be anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm such a good photographer, even though I don't remember any of my classes. Vince gives my back a smack.
Maybe. Didn't think you'd be such a heavyweight, Chase.
He was a heavyweight in the ring with Flynn the other day. Jesus Christ, he took him out in the parking lot like it was nothing.
Nobody knows that's an alternate timeline. No one knows.
Yeah, but no one was ready for Chase to win that fight so
I thought
easily.
He was a little baby
Holy
bitch.
shit!
I thought Flynn was gonna kick his ass.
What we learned is that Flynn is a giant twig man. He's just blown over by
that
anything.
Makes me like him even more.
He's just like a 7 foot tall like rake.
That's my type right there.
That is your type.
Jack Skellington.
That's why you have a Flynn body pillow now.
I do have a Flynn body pillow.
We received an Amicus and Flynn body pillow in our PO box, and so I strung them. I hung them over our bedroom doors so that Stephanie would just arrive to
I came home from work to a naked lizard man, or partially naked. His butt cheeks are out.
Yeah, like, just hanging over her door.
My door.
Just no warning.
One of our other housemates, I was like, "Did you see the body pillows?" And he's like, "Yeah." When I woke up, I felt like one of those dads that sees that and just like, "I'm supportive of the kids," but I also don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I just put them up and I explained them to nobody.
Yeah.
I just let that be a thing that was happening in the house for a few hours. Now Amicus is hanging from the back of my door. I don't know if you even noticed that.
I did not notice that. I have to find a body pillow big enough because I have a body pillow, but dude, Flynn's gigantic.
Yeah, I don't have any body pillows.
Dakamura pillow. Like the one I have is just like for normal people who sleep with body pillows. I need one for like a weeb actual official size one for that.
He's just eerily hanging at the foot of my bed on the back of my door. So I took a picture of him at night once, and I was like, it's like the perfect silhouette to manifest my sleep paralysis demon, and just put that on Twitter.
Yeah, when your sleep paralysis demon climbs in bed with you and cuddles.
It's a compliment I don't quite know how to take, or even comprehend. In fact, even standing feels difficult to grasp at the moment, and I find myself wobbling on my feet once he pulls back his hand. Yeah, it hit him immediately. He's like devastatingly high 30 seconds after eating of the muffin. It's weird to me that they're muffins.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's no reason it couldn't be muffins, but no one ever says muffins in this context.
I keep wanting to say brownie. Just because it's so... I had homemade Rice Krispie treats that were...
Oh, the screen.
Oh my gosh. This isn't...
He's
oh my gosh,
double
guys.
like weed does to you.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
I can understand the...
Joke's on you, they were peyote muffins. Time to stare at some trails.
There's that really good animation that most people don't know by the guy that did Regular Show before he did Regular Show about the two guys working in the gas station. And my favorite bit, he's like, "Oh, those brownies, like, I forgot. I put weed in those brownies." Like, "You put weed in those brownies?" And he's like, "Wait, I didn't put weed in those brownies." He's like, "Okay, good." He's like, "I put acid." He's like, "Why are you saying that like it's better? We have to work for 8 hours."
Thank God. It's just acid.
"Oh, I didn't put weed in the brownies. It was acid." That's way worse.
Shucks.
Yeah.
Lightheaded doesn't even begin to describe it. Dizzy. Nauseous. About to barf.
Gosh.
That's a more apt description. I stumble back and forth to keep myself upright. Try clinging to the nearest flat surface, but it doesn't really help. The ground is moving underneath my feet.
This is ridiculous.
This isn't exactly what it's like?
No, you feel like a rock. Like you basically just slip into the couch and you feel, maybe you're so high you can't move.
You just
but you will
into the
just
couch.
Sit there kind of vibrating. Like, oh, this is nice. It's pleasant. You will not start seeing things. You're not going to want to throw up. I mean, like I said, obviously everyone's different. Maybe there's some weird, maybe there's a chase out there. I don't know. But like you in fact, usually it makes you not want to throw up. If you're nauseous, smoking makes you feel better.
You think he would have had like a contact high by now, just from being around Carl too much with like secondhand smoke or something? That like he wouldn't be like devastatingly foreign to the idea.
But you just feel like you're like a statue. You're just a giant boulder, and you're kind of at peace, and you're just heavy. You feel very heavy, and you can't move, but you just sit there. You're like, nice. Like that is the extent of being very, very high.
Where there were 2 people before, I now see 4, swaying from side to side as everything spins around me. It's like I'm out on a raft in the middle of the ocean. 20 minutes into the party, and I'm already completely out of it. This probably sets all sorts of party records. Is this what being high feels like? What the hell was in those things?
Shit, Chase!
I recognize her voice, but when I turn to look at Lana, she's just a blur. A featureless blob of red and white, ever shifting white. So she's white, whatever she is.
And she's wearing a red. Yeah, she's wearing a red dress.
Yeah.
Chase, are you okay?
What's wrong with them?
He's allergic.
Someone's tugging at my arm, but gravity is currently working against me in every possible way. Hold on, come on, get up. The moment I let go of that cap, then I fall to the floor. Any moment now, I'm gonna sink through it. Where I'll end up, I don't know. My head hurts. My stomach hurts. The empty muffin liner is on the floor next to me. I can still make out the pink frills.
Oh my gosh. Someone call 911!
He had a weed.
Oh my gosh.
It is reefer madness.
Oh my gosh.
Quick, call the police. He forgot his insulin.
Call the police. He put the baby in the oven instead of the turkey.
Whoa.
That's a classic fake weed story.
The despair in her voice is almost palpable, like my heart. She takes hold of my wrist, so my hand just flops around once she moves it. Like the bones are gone. I got no bones-itis. Get arrested? Fuck no.
Fucking shit. I don't know what to do. What do I do?
I want to comfort her, tell her that I'll be fine, even if it's a lie. But no sound comes out of my muzzle. I try to sit and push myself off the ground, but my back just ends up hitting the floor again, followed by my ass. I hope I'm not being filmed right now. I just lay there, with my brain and body in complete disarray like this. There's no way I'm getting up anytime soon. And despite the screams, despite the loud music, despite everything, I feel my eyelids grow heavier and heavier. I'm amused by the idea that also they're screaming because no one here, including the person passing out weed brownies, knew what someone being really high looks like. Oh my god, he's dying!
God, no.
No one warned. I thought these would just be fun.
I almost would be kind of...
This is horrible.
I'd almost be kind of angry if anyone called 911 on me because I was so high I couldn't respond. I'm like, guys...
Fuck off.
Don't call 911, please.
Vibing. I was free from all your distractions and noise and people.
Yeah, no, that like the absolute highest I ever got was on accident because I drank a bunch of soda with cannellini in it. I didn't know cannellini was in it. I drank way too much, and I'm also a really big lightweight. But like literally, I just sat on my belly on a couch, watched 3 movies I didn't remember at all. I was worried. I was like, can I walk to the bathroom? And I did. I was like, my legs still work? And then I did kind of think for a minute. I'm like, can I stop breathing? And I was like, no. And then I just sat there.
Can I stop breathing?
Like is that a possibility? Like, it did cross my brain.
Like, are you in trouble?
Then I was like, no.
Yeah, this came up before because one of the movies that you don't remember came up recently or something.
Well, I had to rewatch it. It was the Fall.
The Fall, yeah.
And I watched it later, and I'm like, this is a beautiful movie. But I knew in my weed brain that I had to rewatch it because I knew it was beautiful, but I couldn't. And then later, I just couldn't remember any of it.
Yeah.
And I knew as I was high, I was like, I'm gonna have to watch this later because I know I'm not gonna retain a lot of this, and I didn't. And then I rewatched it later. I'm like, I was right. Weed Stephanie was right. That was a beautiful movie.
Weed Stephanie has great taste.
No,
I should listen to her.
High Fidelity with John Cusack, The Fall, and like something else. And like I said, I just laid on my belly. Felt very nice. The whole world was like bzzz. And then I just was like, my muscles don't work. Do they work? And I'm like, oh, okay, they do. And it was fine. It was fine. I would never let anyone call 911 on me. And I was so high. This is ridiculous.
You just need your boyfriend to like puppeteer you a bit.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if I can get up. And he's like, yeah, you can. I'm like, I can, you're right. And I did.
Wow. Achievements. The world goes dark before my very eyes, and the last thing I think about before I'm out like a light is how comfortable the cold floor is.
That's the lion guy? Who's that? Chase!
Yeah, I don't know. I return to the land of the living with a loud gasp for air. The scent of very strong coffee fills my nostrils. As soon as I realize I have control over my body again, I thrash in the sheets, which only leaves me tangled when I settle down. My breathing is still harsh, uneven, but it's okay. I'm okay. Sheets. I'm in a bed, not the floor. My paws shoot up to my eyes. I rub them before opening them. There's a lot of gross shit in them. I've probably been out for a while. I can only imagine how bad I must be reeking right now. I'm still wearing the clothes I was wearing last night, too. Fuck. The clock says it's just past 9. How I managed to get back here, I have no idea. Your big, strong ram friend carried you all the way here.
Ooh.
Like when your legs were busted.
And he says, "You're such a little baby bitch. Why did you get so
you
high?
Little baby back bitch." When I try to think about what happened last night, my head just starts hurting more. Carl waltzes in like it's no one's business, wearing nothing but pajama pants that look a few sizes too big even for him. The only way to hide it. There's a piece of toast in my... There's a piece of toast in his mouth and 2 mugs of coffee in his paws.
Oh, you're up. Here, I made coffee.
I can see that. Thanks, though. He sits down next to me, exhaling through his nostrils, just eating his toast. We made rules about only eating at the table, but right now, I'm just glad to be awake and in good health. I speak up once my mug's half empty. So, what happened? How'd I get back here? Carl noisily swallows the last bit of toast.
Well, a few guys and one girl dropped you off here a few hours after you left.
A shit-eating grin slowly spreads across his face.
You were completely zoned out, man. Talking about random shit and giggling like a kid. It was kind of funny to watch.
I glare at him and fold my arms. I'm sure it was. I'm honestly just glad all I got from it was a headache. I might not be invited to future parties, but I'd rather have that than end up dead because I couldn't handle a muffin. Chase, it's weed.
It's weed.
It's one weed muffin. Oh my god, you baby.
I got you some water and put you in bed.
Aww. And then I stroked your forehead until you went to sleep.
Oh. And then we watched The Fall and you didn't remember any of it.
He takes a large gulp of coffee and chuckles.
See, I can be responsible sometimes.
Sure. I set the mug down on the nightstand and wipe the rest of the sleep out of my eyes. God damn, I feel terrible. You couldn't take my shirt off? Just left me sleeping in my shirt.
So, you're trying to answer my question.
He tucks his legs in like a kindergartner.
What happened last night? Did you really get drunk, or...
Or...
You know.
He mimics taking a drag from a cigarette. No. Yes?
Yes?
My shakily uttered denial's not the most convincing, but Carl doesn't seem to pick up on it, thank God. Hell no, I just had a couple too many, that's all.
Oh my gosh.
What's the point of lying to Carl when literally everyone else knows what happened, apparently?
Okay, A, what's the point of lying to Carl when everyone else knows what happened? B, what's the point of lying to Carl who's the biggest pothead in the world?
Yeah.
C, why are you acting like being drunk is better than being high? I think being high is much more responsible than being drunk. Being drunk is like the worst
He's
thing
also
you can
the
do.
guy that you trust enough that you came out to him first, out of anyone.
Yeah, like...
But you won't tell him that you also have now experienced weed once.
You tell someone like, oh, I just got really high. That's kind of a funny story. Like, oh yeah, no, I got really wasted.
Are you just that embarrassed that you're
sad.
a lightweight with weed and it's like a competitive leaderboard thing with Carl because he's the pothead?
I don't want to step on his turf, you know, like that's his thing.
Is this toxic masculinity about weed? Like, I'm not insecure about my weed habit. I got immediately knocked out by one brownie.
Maybe that's what it is.
He's just being a big baby about it.
Even if you did try some, no fur off my back. I mean, look at me. I think I'm past just a little experimenting.
Takes off his shirt. I'm past experimenting. I fall quiet. It's a bit awkward to admit to doing something I used to tease Carl for, Especially when I fainted almost immediately after trying it, which is physically impossible. Unless it's an anxiety attack or something.
Yeah, maybe it's
he
that.
Just flipped out.
Sure.
Just entirely his
Whatever.
brain. Maybe I'll tell him later. Preferably when we're done with college. So it'll be just one of many escapades. Really? Chase is such a baby. Every side story makes Chase a worse character. He just comes off worse in every one of these. I do hope future escapades won't leave me feeling this much like I got hit by a train, though. Chase, who fucks his boyfriend in the car in the parking lot of a church, is afraid to admit that he took a pot muffin.
See, and then you don't feel bad. You don't get like hungover like you do with alcohol, with weed. You wouldn't wake up feeling like shitty. You probably would sleep very well and wake up feeling like pretty okay.
Yeah.
This is all very funny to me.
I finally sit up. God, my back's stiff as can be. What have you been up to while I was out?
Studying, believe it or not. That and laundry.
He stacks the 2 cups and stands up.
I washed your stuff too. Should be done by the time you're done with your shower. You got a lecture to go to, right?
Oh shit, yeah, the lecture. I bury my face in my paws and rub at my temples. I should be able to make it if I hurry. Looks like I woke up just in time, and surprisingly enough, I have Carl to thank for it. Hey, Carl? He turns around, nearly dropping one of his coffee cups. I shoot him a smile. Thank you. Want to play some more Claws of Destruction when I get back?
You're on.
That's the whole story. The entire story is Chase is with Carl in a dorm, goes to a party without Carl, gets high. We never speak of it again. That might be this is probably the most disposable one so far.
Like I said, this is very after school special.
I don't know if this even built up a character. Like, we know that Carl's bad at parties, and we know that Carl bounced off of college and didn't do well with it. So if this was like a story about how Carl had a really bad time socially at college, and then it would be setting up him going home early, but he's like not in the story. He's just hanging out.
No, I consistently like Carl, and I like him more for being nice to take care of his friend. Like, that was very cute. Like, this was just it was like a fluff piece. Like, there wasn't anything. I mean,
it's a slice of life.
I just know Chase is a little baby.
He's such a baby.
But I already knew that, so like, I'm not surprised by this at all.
Well, next time.
Yeah, next time.